I'm just gonna call him Gel.
That sounds
Dr.
good.
Tepper, Dark, Leapfrog, cool.
I'm gonna call him Dr. Pepper.
Golden Wind and LSFC. What is? Do we know what LSFC is short for?
We don't.
Well,
Probably shorter to just say LSF.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wood Tier Invitational preseason. Tonight we have our match between LSFC and Golden Wind. We are being joined by our casters, Otel and Oblivion, and I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to you.
ladies and gentlemen, I am Otel Daraj, my lovely co-host for the moment for the evening, Oblivion. You want to introduce
Hey,
yourself?
good evening, everyone. I am Oblivion PR, but most people just call me Oblivion, and I am really excited to see some wacky stuff.
Yeah, it should be great. I believe the theme of this whole preseason has been to, not take it too seriously, pull out some wacky compositions. I know my team, Fire Team Phoenix, part of Limit Break Gaming, shameless ad. We just had our match last night and we pulled out some wacky stuff. So hoping that Golden Win and LSFC do not disappoint tonight, show us their most out there compositions.
Ever since you've been
Now,
hanging out
I've talked to a couple teams, some of these season matches. I haven't talked to LSFC win. What I've heard from other teams has varied wildly, from asking what the craziest thing they can the sim teleporter is to seeing how many maps they can force Bastion on. So if I get anything half as fun as that in some of these matches, I'm having a great time.
Well, I'm not sure if we're actually going to be opening up on Oasis. I don't know if that was actually decided already, but part of me hopes we do. Oasis, it's one of those really great maps. There's a lot of differentiation between the stages. I think it would leave a lot of openings for creative compositions, to put it lightly. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just saying, you put a Bastion sim comp onto City Center, and you could probably do some wacky stuff.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
want to see a Bastion on the jump pad.
That would certainly get some points for most creative comp or most creative strat of the night. It's funny. Oasis, I think, in like a more even more serious like a rated tournament match or something like that. It's a map that you're going to be looking at teams potentially playing 3 different comps just because of how different the stages are. So even if both teams are going to be trying something wacky, they have a lot of different opportunities to show us sort of whatever they can come up with, just based on how different each of the plans are.
And I think there's something to be said in the modern day, with roll lock and the forced 2-2-2, that remembering back to a time before 2-2-2, it was easier to find something that I would constitute as a real meme comp. I think it takes a lot more creativity these days to really achieve ultimate meme at this point, because you can't just run like a Reinhardt and 5 supports.
Yeah,
That's not
exactly.
a thing anymore.
No, it's kind of difficult because the way the 2-2 works is it ultimately makes a relatively balanced team either way. Um, so it kind of takes you back to a way of Overwatch. So you kind of have to go out of your way and look at individual synergies with the characters themselves, and try to different abilities together for kind of wacky combos. Whereas, like you said, if you just stacked 5 people in one role before roll lock came out, then your comp was going to be wacky no matter what 5 characters.
Yeah. And you can either like look for the weird synergies out there, or you could take one from our experience last night where we just play literally anything. Don't worry about synergies. Just throw everything at the wall. I want to play Doomfist. Doomfist doesn't work into their comp or with our comp, but I'm playing Doomfist.
That's just kind of fun comp with your friends sort of gameplay. Is just everyone just pick a character. We're just gonna go in there, play some Overwatch. And I think that kind of, in this sort of situation, kind of brings it back to what Overwatch started as for a lot of people, was just kind of picking a hero, going out there, dealing some damage, getting a kill with an ult, and high-fiving buddies. And I think that style of gameplay can certainly come out with people just playing whatever they want. Maybe you don't have any tracer players on the team, but put a tank player on a tracer, and you're gonna get something to happen.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to set the expectations for the evening too high, but I will be keeping my eye on that kill feed just to see if anyone whips out the Torb and starts hammering.
I knew exactly where you were going with that, so let's try to keep an active tally on that one, because at the end of the day, what we care about is how many Torb hammer kills has the match.
The real winners will be whoever achieves the most.
There's
in our
no
hearts,
doubt.
at least. So finally, loading into Oasis. I'm not to be disappointed. LSFC and Golden Wind. Waiting to see what comps we're going to be rolling out with here in about 5 seconds.
University is definitely a map that leads to more brawly comps, so I imagine we're going to see some Reinhardt. But that being said, there's certainly a couple high grounds that teams can take advantage of, mainly on the left side. So if we see anything wacky, I think we're going to see taking control of this mini.
Well, thus far, it looks like both teams rolling out here with the Reaper. Definitely going to go for those close-range engagements. LSFC with Inkabome on the Mei, going to definitely have a lot more choke control, which on this stage in particular, it's basically all chokes.
Yeah, it looks like LSFC is really going for an in-your-face comp with the Mei and the Reaper, trying to get a wall, isolate someone off here.
It'll be interesting to see if Dr. Tepper can properly utilize this McCree from inside of this room. LSFC really taking a dominant control of the point thus far. Golden Wind desperately trying to get their own foot on here. Both teams contesting, but Golden Wind with no more barrier. This gives such a huge advantage to LSFC. Looking to get back on that point. Your boy Wings swinging away, trying to get in that hammer cleave. Gets rocked. Already a Sigma ult coming out from Casey, slamming him down, and Golden Wind taking the point.
Yeah, I mean, really, at the end of the day, the second that Casey got an angle on LSFC, Golden Wind had a huge advantage in the fight. They were able to utilize their long-range damage, their Sigma and the McCree, and they were able to push out the Reaper and the Mei like they weren't able to do nearly anything.
That was wild. A very fast ult charge there by Casey. Dr. Tepper not finding anything, but your boy Wings still falling. And LSFC is going to have to be forced back to spawn here. Kevin desperately trying to get out with what little charge he has. Get out with his life. And that was 2 ults invested from the side of Golden Wind.
So that gives them some control percentage here. Looks like they're engaging with
Boy Wings,
2 ults here.
A couple of ults coming out from LSFC here. Your boy Wings swinging away with this nanode hammer, dealing 160 damage a swing. Absolute insanity. Actually, wait, is it 80 or 85? Regardless.
It's 85 right now.
Your boy Wings with the shatter. And and Golden Wind with no barrier to block it, but Dr. Tepper with a second high noon cleaning up the Reinhardt. And this is one scrappy fight as LSFC desperately tries to push the remaining members of Golden Wind off the point and secure themselves a little bit of space here.
It looks like Golden might end up fighting for just fighting for percentage here. With the Reinhardt back, your boy Wings, it's going to be really hard for Golden to take back this point, and they are going to just that retreat. Now that being said, they're not in a too bad of a spot here. They are getting pushed really hard by LSFC.
So finally having something.
Right, exactly.
Ooh,
They're
and
getting a lot of
Stormgate.
value out of this hard push-up. So we're going to be looking at a couple good ult fights from Golden here before LSFC is kind of able to get their foot back in the door. But they really only need to win one more fight. 14% is, with a team fight, you can almost block off the people coming back. So they're
Alright,
looking
and
for one good
Casey
fight here.
poking his way to a second Gravitic Flux. Will he engage with it here? That's exactly what he's going to do, and now Golden Wind looking to invest their way onto this point, trying to keep people alive. The Seismic Slam coming out from Uga, taking down the entire support line of Golden Wind, and that is a decisive fight win from the side of LSFC. Dr. Tepper going for a little dive, taking a little swim, denying a little bit of all charge.
You know, I was sort of curious about this Doomfist pick, but that was just a really strong play from Uga right there. Really taking advantage of the space that the Maywall provided.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those atypical. It is a synergy. It's just a little atypical to see in organized environments. But you know, Storm King with the window to Fire Strike, taking down 2 immediately, and this could be the opening that Golden Wind needs. And you got Leapfrog running down this Ana Micro Dude, taking a dip themselves. And now the last 10% ticking away. Will LSFC have the opportunity to touch here? Looks like Yogurt desperately trying to make his way around to the point. All the way in the back line. Your boy Wings with the Earth Shatter. Gonna try and flip this for his team. Put it on his back. Slam the ground, Wings. We know you can do it.
He's looking for it here.
And
Wow, he gets 2.
Charging the Reaper. Oh! But Stormgig responds with a shatter of his own, taking down 3. And with just a little bit of extra follow-up, it looks like Stormgig got the better of the 2 Earth Shatters there.
Yeah, it's really tough to play from that position if you're your boy Wings. That was just a fantastic shatter. He had to go get something out of it. Charge the Reaper, the biggest threat on the enemy team, but you know, it ended up leaving the other team to get a free shatter there. But it was a tough situation. Great ults on both sides, though. That was a close round.
Indeed. Also, it looks like we've got a bit of a comp swap coming out here from Golden Wind, swapping to the ball. Stormgig going over to a Sigma, looking like a bit of a dive comp, kind of. More like a pokey dive.
This will definitely be interesting. The tank comps are so wildly different on both teams. It'll be really on this Wrecking Ball to kind of determine the pace. Casey on the Wrecking Ball here to determine the pace of his team's engagements here.
All right, LSFC looking for this high ground control, taking it without any effort at all. You know, Golden Wind not even contesting. But now Casey looking for a roll through, trying to disrupt a little bit, get a little bit of space for his team. But you know, honestly, it's kind of on, it's on Golden Wind here to force LSFC out.
Oh no, and Casey going in for a pile driver actually gets slightly knocked out by Kevin.
You hit him with the butt poop.
He certainly did, so just that slight little push took him off the map, so
And it
they're
looks
gonna have to... Oh, no, they're actually coming back in on this, wow.
Bit of Caster's curse, you were about to say they had it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You know, first point flip going to LSFC there, but unfortunately they didn't have what it took to really close out that fight in that instance, you know? I don't know exactly who came up big for Golden Wind, but someone did, you know? Lose the battle, but not the war.
Yeah, I think Dark was able to just really put in a lot of damage. Notice Dark has their ultimate here. That Mercy damage boost just doing so much for an Echo, so they ended up uncontested. I think it took that fight. So we're probably going to look at one of these DPS ults for the engage.
It looks like your boy Wings falling to the Wrecking Ball here. That is a pretty unfortunate pick for LSFC. You know, looking to break these chokes. Without that Sigma, you're not going to have any luck. Dark cleaning up Uga here over at the Mega. And LSFC kind of in a bit of a spiral right now, you know, desperately trying to get their reset, trying to get the fight that they want to take.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to figure out a way to position around Dr. Tepper here. He's just doing such a good job at picking at them from their back line. He's even getting in a lot of damage on your boy Wings, being engaged on right now.
Ooh, your boy Wings losing the hands to the rock. That is a unfortunate thing for him. But it looks like Inkabome trying to do a bit of the Sigma action themselves. Trying to build up a Sigma ult of their own. Opening things up, gets out the trance from Psychic Panda. And now an Echo copy ultimate of Golden Wind's own. As LSFC just really doesn't have a key to unlock the door that Golden Wind has shut.
Yeah, I think they're really looking at having these support ults carry them here. If they're able to get a lot of damage out of their Valkyrie, they have a chance at charging up their DPS ults fight.
And Kevin, big slam up on top, trying to take a bit of this high ground control away from Golden Wind. Not successful. Inkabome desperately trying to take down the Zenyatta, but falls themselves. Psychic Panda just kind of alpha energy. As now it's looking like it is, it's looking over. I mean, we've been wrong before, but
It's not a bad minefield here from Kevin. If he's able to stay on the point for just a second, he has a Doomfist, which can really swing these sorts of fights. Looks like not quite able to get that tether and not quite able to get this map.
Yeah, unfortunately, LSFC not able to touch again there. You know, just put on the back foot after what looked like what was going to be a successful fight for them. And they just never really recovered.
Yeah, that's a tough point to break into, especially with a DPS. Usually Pharah or Echo, they were using Echo to kind of shut the enemy team out. It's so difficult to respond to the DPS threats that that Golden was presenting them with the Tracer on the flank and the Echo in the air. It's almost impossible to deal or to shoot them at all. Nonetheless, deal consistent damage.
And it really was a story of, I believe, the Sigma difference in that first fight on Universe. You know, being able to, with two comps that were so clumped up and so brawly, being able to just stand on the other side of that hole and just spam and build your Sigma ultimate so quickly was really the difference between, you know, like they had a Zarya, which if the fight doesn't get ended by a Sigma ult, is good.
And
But you
I
got to
think
kill the enemy team before the Sigma can build ult. Like, that's just how it is.
right, exactly. And I think it's really interesting to see Casey was actually on the Sigma in the first round, and Stormgig picked up the Sigma going to the second round. Casey was on the Wrecking Ball. So it'll be interesting to see how Golden kind of mixes around their tank line in the upcoming maps, because usually you'll have one person play a hero that you'll see a lot in this meta, like a Sigma, but seeing them switch it around so much, or seeing them switch between rounds like that, shows that their tank line can have a good flexibility in their role, so it kind of gives them a wider range they're able to.
You know, Oblivion, if I could be completely honest, I think that, you know, we're going into King's Row. If we see another Brawl Mirror, I think I'm going to be a little sad.
I
I will say that's my one criticism of because it was a good map of Oasis there from both teams, but neither of the comps really that far out of the norm for what you'd see on that map. And maybe it's just a control thing, you know, they just wanted to run in and frag, but you know, I'm hoping that on a map like King's Row, where everyone knows what's typical on King's Row, maybe we'll see something a little atypical.
So I think it's tough on control to really do too much. If you try to get too cute, the enemy is just going to take over the point and really hammer in that percentage while you're messing around. King's Row, it's hard to say with certainty that both of these teams won't just be running some kind of Reinhardt comp, but I don't know if you've seen the teleporter placement up to the Mondada statue up here, but there's some really interesting things you can get up to with a Bastion on this first point. Not saying that we're going to see it, but I can certainly dream.
Well, that is actually exactly what my team did last night.
That
For
is
our attack on King's Row, a bit of a Sim Bastion. It was a good time. You know, and it is a little, I mean, it's not unheard of, but it is abnormal. You know, it's not the thing that you expect to see, especially not through all 3 points. But you know, I
Certainly
just really
not.
want to see these players plan for that weird champ award. I just want to see something real kooky happen.
I'm really hoping for it. I don't know if we're gonna see that though. We're looking at Ryan Sigma on both sides now. Don't get me wrong. I love a good match at King's Row, so we're gonna have a fun game even if we're looking at two Reinhardt swinging hammers at each other. Both of these teams are pretty well matched up. So we're not seeing anything crazy right now, but we're still looking at a good time.
5, 4.
I think I'm going to be jumping for joy if at any point tonight we actually see a Torb.
I
I'm
really do
surprised
like
it's not coming out. I'm surprised LSFC aren't going for the Torb here. Torb is big.
Orb is a wonderful pick in the current meta. He does a lot of damage and a lot of area control. And what else are you but hammer some kill from time to time?
All right, both teams jockeying for a little bit of positioning here. Golden Wind using that Mei wall to get through unscathed. Ooh, but eating a bit of a fire strike. Fat from Stormgig. And the punch coming in from Uga, trying to disrupt this front line of LSFC as they are back into the corner. It would appear like it's been successful. A lamp already out from LSFC. They're not going to be able to save their backline.
There's some great Mei walls coming in from Inca. The first one getting them around through that choke without taking damage. The second one saving Uga
Oh,
and
wait.
giving their team point
Teams have
control.
flipped. Never mind. Whoops. Colors are hard. So anyways, it's actually LSFC on the attack here, making great use of that Mei wall. I had things backwards. But it does look like Golden Wind looking for the recontest onto the cart here early. You know, before it even reaches that choke, they're just like, no, this cart is ours.
Seeing Tepper on the McCree here again. They're working with a longer range comp, Ponzo and McCree versus a Doomfist and a Mei. I think the Doomfist is really going to be the decision maker if he's able to get into a good position is up here on the high ground. If he's able to sneak in a quick punt, get away, he's going to secure a fight for his team pretty easily. So let's see if he's able to do that here.
All right, it looks like LSFC finally reaching this choke, you know, after having to take a bit of a soft reset. The momentum no longer on their side. Ooh, and that's a big dragon coming out from Dark.
Well, look at the Blizzard. It gets 2 and team.
Inkaboom turning it back around with the Mei yet again. Walling the High Noon, but not quite keeping him out.
Wow, what a great job of keeping that Nanorine out of the team, but he's going in for the charge.
All right, and this has turned into a very scrappy fight as Golden Wind is really just looking to not get rolled through streets. I would probably, oh, well, they do have 6 now, I believe.
Yeah,
So they
they're
will be able to take one
early in
good
the fight.
fight here on second.
Try for the fire strike
Ooh, a
there.
Sigma ult. It's a 6-man Sigma ult. That's so big. A Bob. Wait, not a Bob. That was a Doomfist? Damn. I'm not
Doomfist
keeping
ult.
track of things. Uga finding Dark, and that means kills are in favor of LSFC here. Ooh, a big shatter coming out from Stormgig, cleaning up this enemy team, putting Golden Wind on his back like hold my beer.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Once I saw that huge Sigma ult from Casey, I thought, Kevin, I thought that fight was gonna be over in half a second. Followed up with the Meteor Strike from Uga, but you know, Golden Wind was able to hold their own. Stormgig came up with a huge shatter and it won them the fight.
All right, and LSFC looking for a re-engage here, trying to push Golden Wind back to the cart, doing so successfully thus far. And it looks like they're just being patient right now. Your boy Wings trying not to go too early, getting Sig ulted. He will live through this. The Ananade healing so large.
Down a
And
DPS
now
on
the
both.
real question is, when are they going to engage? Ooh, and LSFC getting trapped in the subway. Your boy Wings finding a big pin onto Leapfrog. Ooh, that window is a little terrifying if you're on the side of LSFC. that McCree damage, the BAP damage, all the damage doubled. Your boy Wings put under so much pressure, has to just stand there holding barrier the entire time.
Uga's kind of getting these one-for-one trades in the back line. Kind of opening up for his Reinhardt to walk forward here, and unless a good ult comes out from Golden Wind, I think LSFC is going to take this point.
You know, in this series, there have been a lot of swingy fights. Like, fights where it's looking like it's bad. And then something goes down, and all of a sudden, a different team's winning, and I'm just like, what?
I mean, there's just so much playmaking happening on both teams. Some of these ults are really saving fights where it's looking like they're down 2 or even 3 people.
And speaking of ults, Stormgig with the Shatter in his pocket, looking for another huge 6-man, I am sure. Gonna try and stop the momentum of LSFC before it can really get started here on third point. A Nano Doomfist, ooh, he gets stunned out of the Earth Shatter. That is unfortunate for Stormgig. The entire backline getting slammed by that Doomfist ult, but the beat drop going to keep everyone alive except for Stormgig. And now LSFC just pushing into this spawn, taking all the space.
So Golden Wind's going to need a touch here. They have a lot of ults. If they can make good use of them, they should be able to win this fight. But they need to keep someone on the point while getting value out of those ults.
And Stormgig attempting the windowed fire strike to maybe get a couple kills and turn this one around, but it's looking like LSFC going to clean up this point, and that is a 2-minute 15-second time bank for them. They've got to be happy with that.
Oh yeah, I mean, finishing King's Row can sometimes be difficult. Can especially get bogged down on that last point, but they cycled through their ults well. They took initiative in fights and got paid off for it with a really nice time.
Ultimately, LSFC on this bout of King's Row really only lost, like, what, 3 fights? Is what it looked like? Like, only about 3 fights, and they never got stalled. That was the big thing for them. Like, at no point did they lose a fight and then have to take another dry fight or something like that. They executed with a lot of restraint. You know, when they lost their fights, they lost them with grace, and then they came back and they just had the resources to win it out. Also, with big playmaking from your boy Wings, landing that huge charge on the Lucio, ultimately pushed into the subway there. I think they should have died.
That was certainly a time where I was really worried for both of them. I was nearly certain they were going to be zoned out by that Dragon Strike, but that charge was just really nice to create space for him and Lucio to be able to get out of there. So, again, it's just really good in the decision-making to turn around fights that are kind of otherwise lost.
All right, and it looks like Golden Wind rolling out with a Moira Lucio, BAP Lucio, McCree Reaper, and the Rhine Sig, looking for a little bit more of the poke game, but with, I guess, Brawl? They're going to try and run into them, maybe?
If they're expecting the Doomfist again, I think they're running the McCree just for the flashbang. No Doomfist on the side of LSFC here, though.
Maywell coming out with the LSFC, but not finding anyone, as Stormgig desperately trying to shove this enemy team back into the corner with his hammer and shield. And it's looking like it's having some great success. No one falling on the side of Golden Wind thus far. Stormgig a little bit low, but really not even sweating.
Yeah, nice use of that long-range damage. Dr. Tepper just taking LSFC to town on that. They're really showing off the Peacekeeper, making himself known that this map ain't big enough for the 12 of them.
See, but look at the ult charge of Golden Wind right now. No one even has an ultimate. Like, the restraint of Golden Wind in these fights has been remarkable. They lost their Rhine and they just got out. They just accepted that the fight was over. They lost no one else. And they reset, and now they're going to be taking a great fight here on the cart. And it looks like they're going to be building their ults before Golden Wind.
Yeah, so LSFC is coming in here. Looks like they may even have a Blizzard up before this next fight. And Blizzard's fantastic ult charging the rest of its team's ults. So they could be looking to stall at this cart here for multiple minutes if they're able to use their ultimates effectively.
All right, and it looks like LSFC falling back to the bookstore, trying to bide their time, really playing to the advantage of their Sigma, you know, definitely kiting very effectively, building their ultimates. A May ult coming out, finding Stormgig, lamp is going to keep him alive. Ooh, that's a big shatter from your boy Wings coming out, trying to clean up these squishies, swinging away. Big cleaves. That was a very big play.
That was one heck of a shatter. You're looking at 4 people stun, cleans everyone up. Inca actually did get killed there, so they might have to back up a little bit. If Golden Wind is able to speed up here, then they may have to force LSFC back.
Yeah, they
Looks like
lost
they're
their
doing
May,
just
but
that
he's
right
actually
now.
made the swap to Reaper here. Should be interesting. A lot of bodies behind this Rhine barrier. Ooh, and with no barrier, Casey here is going to be in a rough spot. Lamp coming out and immediately getting deleted. That's a lot of bodies caught in the exchange of Sigults.
Incredible
Nano-
rock by Kevin. He actually takes out his adversary's Sigil.
Indeed, and
with the
receiving
accretion.
the Nano, putting out so much damage, already like almost 50% to his next Sig Flux. All right, a big shatter coming out from Stormgig, but it didn't catch the Lucio. Leapfrog trying to, wait no, Yogurt trying to desperately claw this fight back, keep his teammates alive, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough.
This fight has been absolutely wild. So
Lots
much
of
damage
ults.
coming in from both teams. So many huge ults, so many big plays.
It looks like an ult came out from pretty much every member of LSFC. As Inkaboom desperately trying to stall out this cart for an extra second or two. But will that death really be worth it when your team is in the process of trying to reset and get their 6 men?
If they get staggered out too badly, they could lose a lot of ground on this one.
Dr. Tepper releasing the High Noon, not going to catch anything with that anyways, but using it to zone back this LSFC front line. And now LSFC on the re-engage, trying to get to this cart and stop it in its place before it can gain too much ground. Getting spammed down all the while. A big anti coming out onto Casey and Stormgig. Ooh, Stormgig half health, receiving the BAP healing and the lamp, going to live. As LFC, ooh, another huge shatter from Wings. It's your boy with the Q press. And
That's kind of what you want to be doing is Reinhardt on King's Row, though. There's very little that feels better than landing those huge 5-man shatters. You can imagine there's a lot of vocalizing coming from your boy Wings there with huge shatters like that.
Yeah, this map has felt like a endless exchange of just really fat shatters.
And
Like from
at the end of the
Stormgig
day-
and your boy Wings, it's just non-stop back and forth of who is shattering who.
Boy Wings immediately getting taken down there by the window.
Nano onto Ugo, looking for a big punch here. Can't connect with the wall, going deep. Getting taken down by Psychic Panda on the Baptiste. You know, maybe a little overzealous there. You know, Nano, it makes you tough, but it doesn't make you invincible.
Certainly, I
Yogurt
mean, that's
with
a really...
another beat drop here. Trying to get a little bit of space for his team, but with Leapfrog's beat coming out so much later, that's going to give so much more to his team than for LSFC. Ooh, the shatter onto the Death Blossoming Reaper to just say, no sir, no ult for you. And the question is, will Golden Wind clean this up?
Oh,
Ooh.
looks like
Uga
they
not
weren't able to touch there. Ooh, I mean,
Ooh, and that's a 2-minute 30-second time bank for Golden Wind.
we won't use any letters or numbers here. They were being zoned off of that point pretty hard by the enemy Reinhardt, but gotta think that one of the 3 of them's able to make the little tap on the cart. But
You know, and I think Uga realized the moment that they pressed their ult that needed to happen.
I
You know,
think so.
It,
You
was-
see
it was
him
like
just
meteor
coming
strike
down
and
off of the meteor
immediately onto the
strike.
cart.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, you know, that animation just taking a little too long and not being able to get that touch.
Ready for battle.
It's tough, but we get to see more King's Row, and I'm sure that they're not sad to play King's Row. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to 2 minutes. It's pretty even time banks on both teams. Golden Wind's probably going to have one less fight here. Or, sorry. LSFC is going to have probably one less fight here, but both of the teams have managed to take first point just out of the gate, so we'll see if they're able to kind of recover and actually hold a defense here.
And Uga pulling out the Widowmaker, you got to wonder if it's actually going to be a mainstay pick here or if they're just looking for something early and then swap. But honestly, I think it wouldn't actually be a bad idea. You know, take a character whose whole idea is to just pop the top off the defense, you know, find one kill and let your team roll. Oh, already swapping to the Doomfist. Unfortunate.
That being said, Doomfist is sort of like a melee Widowmaker, if you were. So we'll see if he can't pop the top off of them, but from their own backline.
Yeah, a lot of spam gonna come out from Inkabomb on this Junkrat here. Oh no, as Wings is getting just shoved back into this corner by Stormgig, and he can't make it out. Uga finding 2 with the slam. You know, and with respawn advantage, if they just played a little slow here, they might actually be able to just clean this up. Actually, no, never mind.
They are
Golden
just
Wind not able to stay, already backing out. Just accepting defeat on that one.
They're just too scared of Uga coming out at them. Gets 2 kills, they immediately retreat back. If I like stepping back because I really don't want to hit another one-shot without my whole team.
All right, now LSFC on to Street's face for the second time. 50 seconds left in the time bank. You gotta wonder if they're just gonna like take this fight at choke and maybe, you know, soft throw it, let them invest some stuff, and maybe try to keep their momentum going.
If they
do have a bit of an ult advantage here.
If they can get an ult out of LSFC, huge. But if they win this fight, they're gonna get so much positioning.
Oh, the Tire not finding anything, unfortunately.
Really
but it does
well
look
played.
like LSFC is kind of steamrolling right now. They just keep going. Ooh, the leapfrog beat drop attempting to take some space back, turn things around, but with enough barriers in Dr. Depper's face and enough spam from Kevin, he's gonna fall! And a big shatter coming out from your boy Wings as they clean up this cart, and it is gonna continue rolling. This is so much space for them. This is really great for 2 minutes. Like,
I'm not
even
even
if
sure
they don't get this next checkpoint, which I would be surprised if they don't.
I'm not even sure if Golden Wind is looking at a reasonable recontest here. They may just have to hold front corner of third point. But
well, Casey will be having the, he might go for the Sig 9 here. You know, he's about to have that flux. Someone's gonna have to stay off something they can touch. Ooh, and Yogurt with the beat drop to deny the damage from that Sig flux. Shatter not finding anyone from Stormgig.
ooh, Tepper coming in with the Pharah though. Taken to the backline, Dark getting multiple kills with that Death Blossom.
Once again, Uga ulting, able to touch the point. God, you gotta feel that one if you're a Doomfist main.
I'm
It's that
based
Doomfist
on
life.
based on the way that he's been playing that Doomfist, I'm sure he's more than used to hearing that that round end while he's still in the air. So that was
But ultimately a really great showing there from LSFC.
just a great push. They did a really good job. Even that last fight was really close. Couple really good plays from Dark and Tepper to save their team from losing that second point, but they did a great job in Streets, just making sure that they were pressing their advantage, using ults and abilities when they had them, and really just maximizing the value of what they had.
And once again, we're seeing Inkabome on this Junkrat. You gotta wonder if, you know, they're gonna have what it takes here to really just shut down, because really, it's just first push. If you win first fight, you're good to just stall out the clock.
Exactly. We've seen 3 first fights so far. All of them have gone to the attackers, so let's see if the Junkrat can be the deciding factor here. But Tepper on the Pharah again may cause problems for the Junkrat pick.
Indeed, Golden Wind. You know, Uga with the McCree going to be able to put a little bit of pressure onto Tepper, but, you know, probably not enough to really take her down if she plays intelligently. You know, putting out a lot of spam out of that choke, and already no point presence from the side of LSFC. They just can't do anything. They're stuck in this hotel. Your boy Wings desperately trying to get out, but ultimately his barrier's going to fall, and he's taking so much damage from the Sigma and Tepper combined. So much spam. And this is where you got to ask, is Inkabome going to look for the swap here? You know, this damage boosted Pharah is very strong, especially on second point of King's Row.
I'm nearly looking to go off of the Junkrat and switch to something that at least has a good chance of pressuring the Pharah here. Looks like he's going to stay on it though, opting to play deal more damage to the enemy front line, so try to ignore the Pharah. I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but Junkrat ult is really powerful and it's a great win.
It could be the deciding factor between a win and a loss for LSFC here. As your boy Wings tried to jockey for this corner, getting the nano and instantly pushing past that window. It's not going to do a dang thing, landing a big shatter. And it doesn't even matter if Inkabome gets his ultimate because your boy Wings just decided to kill everyone.
You know, it's like we kind of said, they just ignored the Pharah, even took a barrage at the back, and it didn't matter. They just supported their Rhine, had their Rhine walk up, and Junkrat was able to keep the enemy front line away and damage. So,
you know, and you got to really feel it if you're Psychic Panda, that window being so unfortunate. It's the risk you run when you go for the window Fire Strike combos, is what's to stop their nanoed Rhine from just walking past. Ooh, and the lamp coming out. Will they have the patience to wait? They do. It's a 4-man from Inkabome. Ooh, and with 20 seconds remaining, it looks like this one is probably going to go in favor of LSFC, you know, tying up this series. You know, I don't think with 10 seconds left. Dr. Tepper onto the Tracer and Leapfrog with the Lucio may be able to get a touch. Casey with a Gravitic Flux. He finds both tanks in it, but will it be enough to actually confirm any kills? No, it will not, as Kevin and your boy Wings are just being pressed back ever so slightly. Your boy Wings already has another shatter. He's looking for it. Both Reinhardts. This could be the deciding shatter. They both shatter each other's teams.
Wild 4-man shatters on both sides.
More. Wow.
What a fight.
What a dance. What a dance as your boy Wings and Stormgig just mutually agree to shatter each other's entire teams.
That's a wonderful way to end a match of King's Row if I've ever seen it. Two Reinhardts just accepting, hey, look, we're going to give each other a high five on the way past, shatter each other's teams, and see what we can do hammer to hammer. And your boy Wings really making use of the nano boost he had and just leaving straight through Golden.
Just stepping past that barrier like it's ya boy. Given the slam and really sealing that one out, that was wild. Like, I called it too. I was like, both of them are looking for it. So rare that you see the mutual shatter with neither one getting canceled.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fireworks, really. And even though your boy Wings ended up on the better exchange, LSFC ended up winning that fight. Stormgig came in and actually stunned the Deadeye coming out too. So one more swing of the hammer there, if he was able to get a bit more damage in, and that fight could have gone totally. Nothing super wacky on King's Row though. Didn't see any Bastion, didn't see any Torb. A lot of brawl comps. Again, we did see a lot of variations of those brawl comps. We even saw Pharah brawl, which is pretty uncommon for King's Row. Not quite the Torb hammering we were hoping to see, but you know, still a good amount of kind of variation. Having fun with the sort of set meta comps that people are running. You can kind of see both of the teams making switches, making adjustments to each other, kind of feeling it out and seeing what's sticking and what isn't sticking. And I think that's some really fun Overwatch to see, is just really dynamic gameplay where both teams kind of have to constantly shift and make little adjustments to counterpick the other team. And so I think that they're, you know, taking advantage of the situation that they have this match where they can try a few things out. If either of them, Golden Wind or LSFC, are struggling, then they can just say, hey, you know what? Let's give something new a try.
You know, and the performance on Oasis you could be forgiven for thinking that this was going to be a one-sided match. You know, Oasis definitely going in favor of Golden Wind in a huge way. It really just LSFC just didn't seem comfortable. They seemed like they were struggling. But coming out on the Kings, you know, it looked like a much closer game. I'm excited moving on to Route 66 here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I wouldn't be able to tell you either way what it looks like and how the rest of this match is go. Um, that was a really close game of
Traveling to
throw,
Route
and
66.
both teams were. I see them both kind of hitting their stride here, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really fun seeing come out with for pure payload map here.
All right. And 15 seconds before we get to see what compositions these wacky characters can come up with. Hopefully. I'm holding out hope.
I got my fingers crossed. Although on this first point,
Ready
could
for
see
battle.
Torbjorn on the defense. I really like watching Widowmaker battles go off. Snipers really popular here due to the long sightline coming down the main approach.
All right, and off the bat, you know, pre-swap, it does look like we're seeing a Echo Tracer from the side of Golden Wind, and LSFC rolling out with a Ash Echo. You know, both, you know, honestly, kind of an interesting choice. Personally, I don't actually think Echo is very good on this map. It's interesting to see them rolling it out. You know, there's really not much cover for Echo to play around.
5,
You know, it's just kind of open.
3, 2,
But we'll see.
Right,
It's going
exactly.
to be a match of Echo supremacy here.
stop.
It really is. Both teams want to try to control the other Echo as much as possible, and I think that the Ash has tipped the scales in that fight.
Yeah, definitely going to provide a lot more ranged pressure. This Tracer going to need to get in on a backline that, frankly, is a little difficult for Tracer to deal with. You know, you can one-clip a BAP, but one-clipping a BAP before he puts down Lamp is kind of tough. And he's just, Dr. Tepper just firing away, just building that pulse bomb, 40% already. Dark, 70% to their copy already. You know, neither team really getting a whole lot of ground here.
Yeah,
Wings does finally fall, though.
I think it's going to take some really big plays on PS before either really able to make a move, or we're looking at a big ability from Casey on the Wrecking Ball here, whether they use a pile driver or something to set up for an easy kill.
Microdude already has his window. The first person to build ult in this game. But it does look like Dark will have their copy in response. You gotta wonder if and when they are going to start popping some of these ultimates, though.
Tepper is really doing a great job at helping his tanks here, doing a lot of damage, and got a pause from Micro. Oh, that Canadian internet can be pretty tough. But Tepper is doing a really good job himself into the enemy backline, creating a lot of problems, even dealing significant amounts of damage to tanks. His synergy with Casey on the Wrecking Ball is really great, and I think that's what's giving the edge in fights.
Yeah, the side of LSFC, with this Orisa pick, you know, it just seems like it's struggling. It's taking a lot of spam from the combined efforts of the Echo and the Sig and their ultimate barrier pressure advantage, the Zenyatta. That's all Psychic Panda needs to do, is just spam barriers all game. And, you know, Casey creating so much disruption with Dr. Tepper, it's just kind of tough to get in with the BAP here. You know, they're not taking the high ground thus far. Honestly, I think if they are gonna get their foothold, they need to roll high ground and they need to like force something to happen. Like they need to at least create enough space with that window so they can get beneath Earls.
They certainly aren't in a place where they can afford to take time and poke, because they're just not going to win those exchanges. It looks like we're seeing them
Bit of a comp
totally
swap.
swap comp here. I really like this. This lets them take the initiative with the dive and kind of put the ball in Golden Wind's court.
I'll tell you what I don't like is still seeing this Baptiste, because Baptiste with this composition seems really bad. But we will see how it goes. You know, maybe he's just saving it for this window. Will he pop it here? You know, be a little selfish. He's getting jumped by the enemy team, and he just doesn't get his opportunity. You know, Baptiste is just going to get a little left out to dry by the rest of his comp here. It'll be interesting to see if he swaps.
You see both supports going down for the side of LSFC early in that fight. So they're going to have a really difficult time recovering, so hopefully they're able to get out of there and not get too late respawns. But like you said, I'm really not sure about this BAP. I assume that Microdude's trying to get a window off. I just feel like he's leaving himself too vulnerable, and sometimes it's just worth switching off of ultimates if the enemy is not going to let you have the space to use them.
Yeah, definitely, you know, 1 minute left on the clock. Microdude's got to get this window out and then make that swap, because ultimately his character does very little for the composition that they're playing. But it will be interesting to see if LSFC can, you know, get this ball rolling, so to speak. It does look like they've taken a little bit of space off of Earls. Inkabome finding Dark Snoke, finding Leapfrog, and finally some kills coming in for LSFC as they clean things up. A Pulse Bomb finding Yogurt, unfortunate.
You know, funny, Microdude's
Break counters, Tracer, Omega Lol.
Microdude still has this ultimate, which is going to be really good to deal a lot of pressure to the enemy team coming back through a couple choke points here, but he was getting pressured that whole fight by Casey and Tepper. Great job on Microdude's part, not going down to that hard dive.
All right, and Tepper's still in the back line of LSFC looking for these kills. Once again, Microdude on this Baptiste just getting completely isolated. You know, maybe it's worth it. He's got 3 people looking at him.
He's certainly, in a funny way, creating space, almost like a tank would for his team.
Miraculously, LSFC does actually manage to get that checkpoint capture.
You know, I don't. You know, he hasn't used his ult yet on the Baptiste. I still don't think it's a pick, but he's just doing so well at avoiding getting killed that he's taking a lot of pressure off of his team.
There's
just
a saying
letting
I think
dive.
There's a saying I think of Oblivion. I don't know if you know anyone who spends a lot of time, you know, on the toilet, you know, just enjoying themselves. But the phrase that comes to mind is shit or get off the pot. And that's essentially where Microdude is at. You got to use this window and you got to get off this hero, because even if you are surviving by the skin of your teeth, you could be doing a lot more on something else.
Oh, that is for certain.
Will the window come out this fight? Finally,
Here
popping
it
the
is.
Q, giving that Echo spam so much more damage to clean up a Zenyatta. And there's your value. That's what you've been waiting to see from Microdude. Pressing the Q, very big play, very good support. That's what I like to see. I'm proud.
What's quite funny is that if LSFC is able to take this point here convincingly, Microdude may end up staying on the Baptiste, because they may have to swap compositions for the last point of how enclosed it all is. Dive comps can sometimes struggle to finish out this point.
Yeah, I would
Casey's
definitely
coming in
not be
back,
surprised to see some
free
brawl
pass.
coming out. Casey letting the mines out onto the payload, trying to deny the space to LSFC. And your boy Wings falling to Dr. Tepper on the high ground. As Yogurt just swinging away with this rally, trying to make a little bit of space, trying to get a little bit more progress and close out this point. Transcendence coming out from Psychic Panda to try and keep Tepper alive. But as that ends and Kevin drops his mines, the question is, will they be able to survive on this payload? They've got so few options. Those mines with an uptime of 20 seconds. Tepper finally running into one. I saw that coming. I saw him running and I was like, he's gonna hit that mine.
If there's a Doomfist, a Tracer, or a Genji, they're gonna, if they're anywhere near a minefield, they're gonna hit a mine. That's just how it works.
And now you gotta wonder if LSFC are gonna be proactive with their composition switches here, or if they are going to take a fight here with only a minute and a half left. Not a whole lot of time if you don't get things done right here, right now.
It looks like a lot of ults that they're working with, although their comp may not be effective to this point. seen them hold on to ults so far in this map, so let's hope it's not gonna, they're really hoping that it's not gonna bite them.
All right, a big dive coming out from Wings and Kevin, finding that Ashe immediately. A high noon coming out from Dark, finds Snoke, or Snowcoke. Interesting. Finding the Echo copy as well. Rally coming out from Leapfrog to put a little bit of armor on themselves and Dark. But it doesn't really seem like they have the resources yet to get on. A Gravitic Flux could change that. You know, it's going to be so much damage onto the DPS, and with no more DPS, this fight is basically over.
Right. This is a really hard point to take. LSFC was up in that fight for a very long time. They had a lot of pressure, but the second they ran out of resources, ults, cooldowns, they were kind of sitting ducks, and Stormgig just went in, used a good flux, and cleared them out. This is going to be a tough point finish for LSFC here, coming in with just a pulse bomb and a rally.
Yeah, keeping the ball likely for the mines. Casey all the way in the spawn of the attacking team, looking for their own roll through.
I said just a pulse bomb, didn't I?
With a very large pulse bomb, finds 3, looking to clean up the Hanzo on the flank, and no one touches.
Wow. Well,
That was pretty wild.
that's one way to make me eat my words right there. All they had was a pulse bomb, and that's all they needed. They didn't even throw at any other ults. That was just a fantastic play, and it, even though it only took out, I say, it took out half of the team. The rest of the team just kind of scattered once they lost their backline.
Yeah, definitely. Pulse bomb, one of those things that it's a little difficult to predict because it's kind of a, you know, it's not consistent.
You'll hear a lot of Tracer players refer to it as using like a cooldown.
I know that's true.
And so a lot of people end up considering it not really an ult, because it certainly isn't held in kind of as high a regard as some other more consistent ults. But that being said, it is
You know,
still
every
an
now and
ultimate
then-
ability.
Every now and then you stick someone and they don't stand still, and it's great. You know,
Really showing that ult pulse bomb does have leg.
yeah, and to fully embrace the meme, bit of a Tracer main myself, but that's the kind of thing that as a Tracer main I like to see, and it's always exciting.
I love a good little bit of Tracer gameplay, and looks like we're gonna get to see more of it with
Rolling
Golden.
out with very similar compositions from the side of Golden Wind. That being said, LSFC opting for the Hog switch, possibly to shut down the ball that they're expecting.
I don't actually mind the Hogs with here. It's a more defensive comp for sure.
And finding the hook onto Casey, but it's not going to be enough to really clean him up. And with Microdude down so early to this Tracer, you know, the advantage for Golden Winds here is significant. Even with Casey down, the difference is having that Discord.
Leapfrog gets whip-shotted out of that res there, so... but they're still able to take some kills while that's going on and push LSFC off this point.
Yeah, at this point, if you're LSFC, you're just looking for the last second recontest. You're looking for your 6 players up and just hope that things go well coming out of this choke. I would not be surprised to see a big sticky here from Dark. Finds a Sigma barrier. Unfortunate. You hate to see it. But still a lot of damage coming out.
LSFC is not going into this with any fights. Dark getting a kill, Psychic Panda falling up on Ink.
Ooh, and Dark, despite that 600-point health pool, immediately transitions back. That was pretty wild.
Well, that's kind of the life of Echo when transform in the middle of the enemy team, but still got value out of it because that was him dying, not his tanks taking one for. So, good first by Golden Wind. LSFC is looking to finish charging up some of these ultimates to be able to take back a defensive.
All right, and Golden Wind taking control of the saloon. That high ground so important on the second point of Route 66. As LSFC is just trying to get to the card at this point, but Casey has a few things to say about that, trying to shut them down, but ultimately getting captured. With 1 health, will he make it? Casey actually making it out alive. No, never mind. They stopped to fight. Why'd you do that to me, Casey?
We're just
Tepper with a 3-man pulse bomb. That's pretty wild.
We're just seeing 3-man pulse bombs all over the place. It's absolutely incredible. Res onto Casey means that LSFC may just get cleaned up here.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Psychic Panda finding the kill onto Microdude is not boding well for the side of LSFC.
Although they do have respawns to come back, but Dark takes out
Using
2 with
a
the sticky
very
bomb.
early Transcendence to secure out this point. And, you know, while we have this little bit of downtime as Golden Winds continues to run down the last surviving members of LSFC, I would like to make a public service announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, when you see the word stuck on your screen and you're playing as a Tracer, just lift your hands off the keyboard. It's as easy as that.
I have played a
You
lot
could
of...
prevent yourself from being responsible for your teammates' deaths. The more you know. I wish we had little animations, you know, just put the little rainbow up.
That is incredibly helpful advice. It's something that I actually have to do.
All right, and the fight's finally breaking out once again. A lot of ults on the side of LSFC here. If they have the opportunity to use them, Snowcoke falling very low. Really not a whole lot of damage going on the side of Golden Winds here, playing their lives very well. As both teams finally popping some ultimates, trying to make something happen. Gravitic Flux coming out from Kevin, not going to find any kills, but Psychic Panda does fall. Now, it might not have found the kills, but it did do the damage.
Yeah, it looks like they were able to ignore Dark on that high ground, push past, and make space with their ults to retake a defensive position. And this is going to be a really strong corner for LSFC to be able to hold.
Golden
Jumping
Wind
off
rolling
that.
up with both support ultimates this fight and both tank ultimates. This could be big. You've got Casey going deep for the mines, getting hacked, and ultimately feeding about 600 health worth of ult charge. But your boy Wings looking to do the same, you know, just trade one for the other. Ooh, Leapfrog finding that resurrect onto Casey, dodging the high noon. That's very big play from him. And now it's looking like Golden Winds just free cart rolling, you know? They're just going to keep spamming down these spawn doors. Snowcoke caught out, not able to get behind that Rhine barrier before the Sig ult. And now LSFC just kind of stuck in spawn. Gonna need to make something happen here, something big.
Yeah,
Boy
your
Wings
boy-
does have 70% to his Earth Shatter. He might be able to build at this fight, might be able to make something happen.
Yeah, he's really looking for a big Earth Shatter coming in, but
Ooh, Dr. Tepper with the Pulse Bomb onto the Reinhardt and the cleanup. You hate to see that if you're your boy Wings. But finally, you know, back alive off of that Resurrect, looking to swing a little bit, looking to build a little bit of that ult charge, trying to just get the ultimate that he can finally use to clean this up. Transcendence coming out. And a... Ooh. You just hate to see that.
it's really tough only seeing one whenever 3 people are in his field of vision, although Kevin takes out the entire support line here of Golden Wind, so LSFC might be holding on to this yet.
You know, Inkabome on this Sombra getting some pretty good hacks here. I saw the hack onto the Echo there, the early hack onto Casey on the ball. Like, really utilizing that fair and fun mechanic to make sure that the side of Golden Winds can't play the video game.
These hacks are incredibly defensive in nature, so it's really difficult to see value from them sometimes, but Inkabone has canceled several ults and stopped tanks cold with that, so he's doing a really great job at helping his front line.
Right, and another set of mines coming out from Kevin and the side of LSFC. Dr. Tepper up on this high ground, just poking away, trying to build a pulse bomb, finds Microdude. Dr. Tepper just popping off with these pulse bombs right now. And with Dark and Dr. Tepper onto your boy Wings, that Reinhardt has no hope of living. As now Snowcoke just desperately trying to find a support.
Microdude's able to stall this point. Inca is coming back with an EMP. He's
If they can
only
build it about
7%
7% away.
so-
They should be able to here, if they can get in. Are being hunted by a Tracer at the moment.
See, it's going to have to be a really big EMP. He's looking for it here.
Does manage to catch the Zen. The Zen is 1 health as Microdude runs all the way to the back line to find that kill. But no one's on cart. Just a Moira. And that is very unfortunate. You know, a minute 43 still on the clock for the side of Golden Wind. But we have been here before.
I think, I think it just goes to show that teams are both playing really well. These payload maps are difficult to finish a lot of the time, and seeing both teams manage to stick it out until the end means that it's really a great matchup.
Yeah, definitely a very close game. Two very talented teams here, playing their little hearts out. Not a whole lot of memes, but you know what? We're still seeing good Overwatch, and I can live with that.
No, I'm always happy to watch teams sit here and throw haymakers at each other, because at the end of the day, fun game of Overwatch whenever both teams are landing 3-man pulse bombs. Maybe not so fun for the back line because someone's holding onto the S key a bit too hard, but we've already gone over that one a bit, so.
Indeed, and looking like LSFC is going to get their first attack here. 1 minute in the time bank as your boy Wings and Kevin rolling out this time, opting to just start with the dive tanks instead of trying for the double barrier. Be interesting to see how that goes.
I certainly like the proactive and coming out with the Pharah. It's a little riskier than the Echo, I think, but if they're just trying to put as much damage in as possible, then it's a good way to go.
Definitely a lot of spam potential there with the Pharah, and I would actually say that, Pharah capable of doing most of her value at a distance where this McCree and this Tracer are really not going to be much of a threat to her. Inkabome going to be mostly free. He can just sit back behind the choke and just put out damage that punishes. And it looks like LSFC finally taking control of the top of Earls fully now, staging for their next attack. Casey finally rolling back, trying to contest, falling to the low ground, and now it's really on what team wants to make the move first. It looks like Casey's going to roll in and slam, trying to make something happen. Microdude falls to Dr. Tipper. Oh, and that's a lot of kills coming up for Golden Wind. Unless some crazy stuff happens. We've seen it before, but it looks like Golden Wind might stop the cart here. Dark popping a high noon, looking for kills, finds nothing. Leapfrog does manage to kill a lamp. Another pulse bomb onto Microdude. Dr. Tepper does not miss the stick. As now Yogurt just touching and living a surprisingly long time for being a discorded Mercy who just stands still.
And the thing that again stands out is the synergy between the Tracer and that Wrecking Ball. Microdude had cooldowns. He had teammates there to peel for him, and they were using abilities on Casey and Tepper, but they had just great coordination, and they deleted Microdude instantly at the start of that fight, and that's whenever it started to really crumble for LSFC on that point.
Yeah, I was saying it just as Casey decided to roll in and slam, but that fight was basically going to be decided by whatever team chose to engage, rather than just sitting. Casey getting a huge, 5-man slam. That's both a lot of ult charge. It's also a lot of damage that then the support line has to deal with. And especially if you lose your BAP immediately, you are the big sad. So it really did come down to, LSFC had the control of Earls, and I think they needed to take their engagement early.
You see it too, right?
I do see it.
So
will we see a Torb hammer kill? Snowcoke, don't disappoint me. I'm looking at you, you little dwarf man.
I think this is actually a really good composition for holding this point. I really like the Torbjorn pick, and they have a lot of staying power with their barriers here. So if they're able to conserve their resources properly, I think be able to give Golden a difficult time.
And with a Sombra, you're going to be able to keep these health packs on Earls hacked and really take Tracer's life and make it way more difficult. as Ingabom looks to poke down this Tracer, forcing out recall real early. Not managing to land the hack, though. As a big engage comes out from Casey, getting a huge adaptive shields. And getting out, feeding minimal ult charge.
Well, you're gonna need someone here
Now,
to contest this
your boy
card.
Wings
It's gonna
forced
be a
to
one-
drop, getting discorded. This is where you don't want to be as an Orisa. On the low ground, discorded, and with no lamp. But the question is, 50 seconds left. As long as LSFC doesn't C9 here, I think that's going to be the big thing. Please, LSFC, do not C9.
It's less than a meter away, and they almost lost it there from not touching, so...
They definitely took the late engage. Your boy Wings being the first to drop there. Try and put a foot on that cart. I was sweating for him when I saw that Discord land. And Casey is still living in the backline here, landing another huge slam almost to their minds. As now both teams looking, Sig9 could be the difference. But you've got Snowcoke using his cooldowns to touch the point, stop that cart, and don't let it C9. But with the rock,
Oh, they're not able to get back to it.
you hate to see it.
Ah,
That's
tough.
Stormgig just landing that big rock enough to both stun and boop the last person off of the cart and give them that breathing room to secure the objective.
Yeah, I think that that's one thing. Or that's a place where they would have been, where they would have wanted to try to hold up a little bit farther, just to kind of give themselves the space to be able to get hit. But Stormgig taking great advantage of that, using all of his abilities to more or less just push LSFC off the cart. So we saw the Torbjorn.
We
No
did
hammer.
finally see a Torbjorn. No hammer kills, unfortunately. Usually the hammer kills only come when you really roll a fight. When you can get that last person alive. But unfortunately, Snowcoke not being able to deliver the hammer kill of the century. It's fine. I'm not crying. You're crying.
It's okay. Our audience is all crying. So
We weep for
it's
the
tough
Torb
not
hammer.
seeing the hammer kills. It's tough not seeing the kills.
All right. It
No
looks like
swaps for
our
both
2
teams
CP
going
map of the
Volskaya here.
evening,
Traveling to
Volskaya Industries. Definitely, this first point, a lot of different comps that you see get played here. We've seen a little bit of Pharah tonight. We might see a little bit of Pharah here. I would not be surprised. But also,
So if you
a
get
fair amount of
to-
Ash.
So if you get to take claim on looking for Torbjorn, I want to look out for the Sim. Symmetra is a hero that can take advantage of these high grounds being so far apart. You connect them with teleporter to give them some really wild transitions across the map. But also, on the attacker's side, the gap on the left side allows you to use a teleporter to basically engage from the back high ground. So any chance to see something like that would be hilarious, although looks like we may not be seeing that.
And it looks like a little bit of banter going on in the chat or something like that. I don't think we're going to see the Sim. I think if we were going to see the Sim, we would have seen it already tonight.
3, 2,
And even though it is a bit of a meme strat to TP over left side, I think most teams know about it, and most teams don't actually do it anymore. Bit of a shame.
For certain, it's a good time to. Oh, love the rotation here from LSFC.
Yes, very
trying
clean.
to take that, trying to take that same high ground, but use the Lucio speed boost to get themselves into place rather than the Sim teleporter.
A very clean rotation indeed. They've taken virtually no damage getting to this point.
We say that just as
Yogurt explodes. Yeah. Gaster's Curse. And it looks like LSFC falling all the way back for Lucio. A bit of an interesting play to give up that much space.
Yeah, I think Yogurt could just kind of sneak in on his own. Your boy Wings taking a lot of shield damage here.
Yeah, and you gotta ask yourself, are they going to go for it again? As your boy Wings tries to get his Ana across, it looks like Cosmic SFM Cosmic SFM. Okay, I read that correctly. Going for a bit of a solo flank play, but falling really early, you know? Like, it's all about timing. If you're gonna do that on Echo, it's all about timing.
It really is, and it's tough. I think I may prefer to see something that gels a little bit more with the rotation that they're trying to take. Something like a Hanzo instead of the Echo. Echo really thrives for her.
Yeah, Cosmic's not gonna have a whole lot of support in this lineup. You know, Ana can heal the Echo, but she's probably gonna be focused on tanks. Lucio does nothing for you. And once again, Cosmic SFM falling really early. Dr. Tepper taking a aggressive flank. Basically being like, yeah, I see your barrier. I'll just walk around it. Tossing out a Bob, finds Yogurt, cleans it up. And actually, this could be a turnable fight. Dr. Tepper on the high ground. Bob doing their thing. And
you see all the...
I don't think that the respawns will come back fast enough, actually, now. Unfortunately, Golden Wind finally not having a ball. I feel like they've had a ball most of the night. You know, if they would have had a ball, they might have had the recontest there. That was pretty stalled out.
The support line of LSFC really kind of winning that fight, closing it out, using all of their abilities on that Bob to keep him up on getting the capture percentage rolling and sleeping him meant that Kevin only had to use kinetic grasp to take the rest of the damage, meant that they got the rest of the point for free.
Ooh, your boy Wings getting caught in the dragons, getting the nano to top him back to full, and just kind of swinging around the point wildly. Nothing for you to hit here, Reinhardt. And he does fall to Casey. That's a little unfortunate. You hate to see that.
You see Cosmic caught me in a tank, so he's going to be able to have space on the point. Not getting much of a whole hog, though.
But just kind of explodes. It's a little unfortunate. Bit of an unfortunate investment there. Your boy Wings off of the Reinhardt now onto a Roadhog of their own. As both teams opting for a Sig Hog here. You know, play the more solo game frag style.
On this point like that, I think you're really just trying to close out a quick fight, and you want to be able to cut off respawns as soon as they happen. So they're going to have a lot less point presence, but if they're able to use their abilities correct, they can kind of break in on their...
All right, and your boy Wings getting a little hungry for... They're trying to push forward. Snowcoke falling to Stormgig. Your boy Wings finally onto the point, but he's just going to get spammed out by this Sigma. As LSFC are just desperately trying to make something happen. Golden Wind's playing a very split composition. Very split. Lots of angles, lots of threat. And without a barrier, like a really consistent barrier, obviously Kevin has a barrier, but it only covers one angle. You know, this is kind of rough for LSFC.
So Kevin's really looking to come in and get a good flux. I actually really like the way your boy Wing played there. He went down there, contested the point, and he does what he needs to do, forces out the Bob, even though his team had basically lost the fight whenever they lost first pick. So does have a good understanding of what this is going to come down to, which is a really big ult fight.
All right, and Casey opting to go for the early flux, finds Micro Dude, puts enough damage onto Kevin that Dark's Dragon cleans him up. And yet again, another Golden Winds fight win.
You know, it's tough. Kevin's been holding on to this gravitic flux for a few minutes now, and it's late pick onto Cosmic SFM.
I feel that.
So,
I feel that for Cosmic.
Going back in with a Reinhardt is your boy Wings, so hopefully that'll give them the space needed to push up, not lose the poke exchanges so easily here.
Yeah, definitely with the Ashe over the Kree, you have that one-shot potential that you just don't really get out of McCree. Ooh, Yogurt finding the cleanup onto Dark. I believe Cosmic landed a body shot, and Yogurt was there with the follow-up damage, and now a lot of ults coming out from LSFC. That was the go button. But your boy Wings no longer has a barrier, trying to get onto Casey, trying to swing away, and now that this Reinhardt's here, he's here to stay. He's got a lot of healing to work with. Leapfrog using that Valk movement to try and stay alive as long as possible, but once again, Yogurt managing to find the cleanup. And with 58 seconds left on the clock, that does mean that they are guaranteed a second offense.
There you go. Yogurt, an underutilized part of Lucio's kit, but that blaster did a little bit of damage to finish people off, and makes a good opening for his team. And your boy Wings uses Reinhardt's great point presence to capitalize on Dark, who's their most consistent source of damage, especially against tanks. Just roll into the point, use a couple of ultimates, and take it without too much trouble.
Ready for battle.
All right. And it looks like we may have a bit of double barrier, a bit of a Risa coming out from your boy Wings. Once again, you know, actually not a terrible pick here. You can really bunker in this mega room and make a lot of use out of the sheer level of damage that she outputs. It's certainly harder to just walk at her.
I am a little nervous about the Junkrat pick, seeing Echo on the other side. That being said, you are able to force the enemy to kind of come into your bunker, then Junkrat's going to be able to lay out a bunch of damage right in front of him.
All right, and the attacking team has finally rolled out using this Echo Mercy pocket and going for a bit more of a dive variant with Sig compared to the double barrier of LSFC. And both teams just kind of spamming away at this moment. You know, LSFC just trying to put damage where there are bodies, and Dark on the Echo trying to build a little bit of their copy, but ultimately no team really getting too wacky and wild with it just yet.
Yeah, Golden Wind is really looking to... there we go. Casey goes down.
Ooh.
Tepper takes out Cosmic, though.
Watch your Tepper finding Cosmic, but
Even
Casey going to be back so much faster than Cosmic. That's actually a really good trade for the side of Golden Winds.
Cooldowns to get Cosmic back up here, though.
Ooh, and this is a really good rotation from Golden Winds, actually. Unfortunately, Cosmic does find the kill on a Psychic Panda, but that high ground was so strong for them.
That was... the Junkrat's playing at a split angle, which I did not expect coming out of this bunker comp, but he's actually doing a really good job at denying space from Golden Winds.
Honestly, I'm surprised to see the Junkrat, you know, out in the open, you know, looking for wide angles and the Ash shoved into this little cubby and not the other way around.
It is unconventional, but that's what we're here for, right?
Indeed. Little out there. Casey finding the kill. Ooh, never mind, just trapped. It was Stormgig that found the kill on a Cosmic. And now, finally, Golden Wind looking to clean up this defending team. You know, still plenty of bodies for LSFC here.
Yeah, coming out,
Ooh,
that Valkyrie is
dying. That's
a lot.
He will get the res from Leapfrog. Leapfrog using their Valk to try and put out as much supportive damage as possible. Stormgig with the slam, looking for kills, does not find any. Psychic Panda does manage to kill Yogurt. But ultimately, you know, the side of LSFC is just dying so slowly. And with Stormgig dying to the tire, honestly, okay, point's finally gonna go. But it was looking a little rough there. It was looking a little rough.
That was quite the back and forth fight from both teams.
Both teams investing a ton of ultimates.
Looks like just a pulse bomb.
Forget about the point.
Pulse bomb and Transcendence coming up for Gold moving on the attack. Although Ankle's going to be really strong, so if LSFC can force back this first push,
do you think if you damage pocket a Sigma ult and bongo it would just one-shot a 200 health target?
Damage boost the part where he pulls up.
See,
I learned this the other day.
I feel like it could be big. But it doesn't look like we're going to see that. Your boy Wings tossing out the Bongo more so to just get his team ultimates. You know, a very supportive use of Bongo. The side of Golden Wind's not even pushed in yet. Mostly just to bolster their spam and deny them a little bit of time.
It's good use of the ult to force the enemy back up, give your team a bit of breathing room, and see it works out well. Doesn't really secure a fight win per se, but
Yeah, it mostly is just buying them time.
right, exactly.
Like,
which
personally, if I'm Wings here, I'm looking to use it when the enemy team is more or less committed to the fight.
is
It's
actually
going to be a little
great
tough to judge with these spammy compositions. A lot of damage onto Casey, barely getting out with their life. A Gravitic Flux coming out from Kevin, but with the Transcendence, it's not going to find anybody. Leapfrog dying to Snowcoke by the Dynamite, and your boy Wings finding Casey. Lots of kills coming up to the side of LSFC here. With Lamp out, these tanks are going to live. Can they confirm the kill on Stormgig and Dark before Dark cleans up the rest of their team? Your boy Wings just really laying down the fire.
You know, things about LSFC, they've shown that, you know, they like this comp a reasonable amount, is that they're doing such a great job of using this cover on the left side to deny any openings. You see Tepper's just having a difficult time finding an angle, and that's just great positioning on the side of LSFC.
Yeah,
really
definitely.
taking advantage of comp and to its best potential here.
You know, definitely a little bit of a, it's a bit of a tough duel to take Widow here, you know, against a pocketed Ashe. She's going to kill you more often than not. She's just got the advantage. Looks like Leapfrog popping out the Valkyrie, trying to get his team to go in and take a little bit of space. And with the Gravitic Flux coming out, Stormgig finds Kevin and Snowcoke, as well as Snowcoke's Bob. And finally, it looks like an opportunity for Golden Winds to get on this objective. That is, if this tire doesn't have anything to say about it, but it does not.
Quick reactions by the backline here. Psychic Panda and Tepper both pressuring down, forcing the explosion from Cosmic FM, who's ready to come out.
That window looks like it's going to be just enough to force them off the objective. You know, that tire may not have actually killed anything, but it did push them back. They lost control of the point.
Yeah, you see it come out, and just that second force the other team to react. Well, hits are coming. It kind of created an open for his reinforcements to come back in and make plays of their own.
Definitely a very good tire. Even though it didn't find any kills, it did its job. And Cosmic is actually probably going to be happy with that one, to be honest. And now the only ultimates coming up online for Golden Winds as this clock ticks down to 30 seconds. Even if they manage to cap at this point, they probably won't get a second offense. So the most that they'll be playing for here is a draw.
Well, they have LSFC at 58 seconds, so they will at least get a minute for attack. So they're really just looking to capture this point.
Yeah, you're right. Look at me being wrong. Anyways, oh, the Bongo coming down from your boy Wings, but instantly getting destroyed by Dark. Gotta protect that thing with your life like it's your firstborn child. Rock coming out from Stormgig, not finding anything, as Yogurt doing so much to just delay this point with the Valkyrie movement. Dr. Tepper is tired of it. Finally, this Kree getting the damage put out. Oh, and they booped him out of the Sig Flux. That's so unfortunate.
Wow, it was a great ult by Casey. They're using Minefield to deny space from the tanks on the point.
All right, and Tepper looking to clean up this ball. The mines come out, and you gotta wonder if anyone will be unfortunate enough to walk into them. Finding another kill onto Cosmic's tire, and it's not gonna be enough. Unfortunately, this time it didn't push them all off point.
No, not quite. Psychic Panda, great reaction times there with those tires. Didn't let them get anywhere near him. Just good, really good awareness. Really good reaction time there, and that helps them secure that point. So we're two pretty short attacks here.
All right, and just because I'm a bad person and I want to subject you to the caster curse one more time, who do you think's coming out on top of this one?
Oh boy.
Based on the first two offenses that we saw, like LSFC had a bit of trouble, it seemed, getting their first fight to ever really happen. You know, they were very patient with their rotations, but maybe gave up a little too much space at times. And then you've just got the side of Golden Winds, which just struggled for so long to break them out of that little tiny space, which you got to wonder if Golden Winds is going to be looking for that this time.
I think I would have to put it to LSFC. Golden Wings doesn't have that much time and to break this point, and the way that the matchup played out last time, they needed a lot of time just to set up the angles that they were getting on, but LSFC was just doing a great job at testing them, so they're going to have to take space really aggressively and hope it works out for them.
All right, well, remember that you said that at the end of this round. If LSFC does lose here, that'll be the match, and it'll be all your fault.
It is duly noted. It's duly noted.
Caster's Curse is very real. Looks like the side of Golden Winds here taking this high ground control. Very smart play from them, actually. This time around, expecting them to be under there, you know, taking that high ground, and now, oh, they're just fishing a barrel at this point.
Yeah.
What do you do? That Sig is just, he's farming.
You see Cosmic holding that off angle, but they were ready for it this time. Just go push him out, and that puts LSFC 5v6.
And at this point, you know, Stormgig is wise to the tactics of LSFC, looking to just open this up like a can of sardines. They've already got the one tick, so they are in a place to play for victory. And the window doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Microdude not able to get any kills from it. And actually, it does look like this cap may come out in favor of Golden Winds here. You know, all the kills coming up blue in this kill feed.
Yeah, I think Golden Winds did exactly what they needed to do. They didn't waste time in their rotations. They took the position that they needed to, and it got them to point. So.
And now they have 30 seconds to move on to second. They do have a Gravitic Flux, and they have mines coming online with a Valkyrie. Valkyrie should be more than enough to get them to the point. You add that to a Gravitic Flux, you know, you've got the space, get your ball on point, get the mines deployed. You very well may be able to make a lot out of a minute and a half here.
Yogurt's going to want to make sure to use his Valkyrie here for as much healing as possible to get.
And once again, just shoving them into a little corner.
His team already went down before he was able to get the ult out.
All right, and Golden Winds looking like they might actually be able to get a tick here. That's a lot of stickies onto that Mercy. They got the tick, which means that they are in second point winning. Ooh, they're putting a lot onto LSFC here. You know, the trance coming out, but the Tire still looking for kills, only finds Stormgig.
It's not too bad. You really just saw this point, although
two ticks now.
Will they get another retouch here?
Will they be able to clean up this Junkrat quickly? The Moira now onto point. It looks like they've got more than enough bodies on this point to clean that up. Only Tracer touching now. This could be a second cap for them. This is actually a very big second offense. They were wise to LFC's shenanigans. LFC, you know, pulling out a bit of actually the closest thing to an off-meta, like, Mimi strat that we've seen. I don't think I've ever actually just seen a whole team cubby into that little space. But, you know...
Initiating match.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Big plot twist. What?
LSFC
Hold on.
is not LSFC.
What does it mean? I'm flabbergasted.
I'm not certain. But what I am certain about was that was a really great attack. Oh, I'm also certain the game is paused.
Well, this gives us a little bit of time to have adult conversations.
Right.
About what an absolute reaming that second offense was. My God. You know, Golden Winds really showed up on that second offense.
You said that they had those ults going into the fight, and they did not give LSFC an inch. They went in with both of their tank ults, and forced them straight out of any good position, and LSFC just didn't have the room to squeeze themselves back into the point. Took too much damage while they were under all that pressure, and they weren't able to put up a solid defense there.
Yeah, definitely a tough position to be in if you are LSFC now, because even though you did have an extra 58 seconds on them, there is no guarantee that you not only break their first point defense in that time, but also get a full cap on second. Like honestly, um Golden Winds here has the opportunity to even lose first point, but just make it take some time, build like a bank of 6 ultimates, and in that 30 seconds that um LSFC gets, just say no and just pop all their Qs.
And based on the way that LSFC played the first point, I would be pretty nervous about going to this attack. They took a while, kind of fidgety about their rotations, and I think to give them a good chance to take second, which is ultimately their win condition here, they need to focus on putting together a team comp that does that, which is take second. So I think they need to be aggressive about this. They're gonna have to take first point with hopefully one team fight or two, not use too many ultimates, and then give Golden Wind a win taste their own medicine. Come into second point with a lot of ults and just shut the door on them to have a chance of staying in the series. So it's a tough ask for sure.
I would just like to say, I would like to make this my formal public apology for negatively affecting the outcome of a match by abusing caster curse.
It's happened.
I was making a meme, but it looks like it actually worked. Caster curse is so real. I got you to curse them. And now, how the turntables, so to speak.
Well, I think we all knew that's what we were signing up for here. So if caster curse was brought up, I knew the powerful dark magics that we're playing with, and I toyed with the fire a bit. These things happen.
Oblivion, is that just what this is? Do we decide the outcomes of these matches? Is this scripted?
Well,
sorry, I'm revealing too much now.
I'm not saying it's not scripted, but your internet provider isn't calling you, are they? Because you should go check your router, maybe restart it. Getting some ominous Discord messages from the people, the shadowy figures running running everything from behind the scenes.
Indeed, we've just flown a little too close to the sun, like Icarus with his wax wings. We have abused the caster curse and therefore are basically criminals at this point. Like, welcome
More
to
or
casting
less.
Oblivion.
It's
on your first day.
lots of
All right,
lots
we're
of
finally
lots of weights
unpaused.
on our
Cool.
shoulders here.
We can finally
So,
see the outcome of this match.
Incoming in 30 seconds.
All right. LSFC
Speaking of,
on the ropes.
wax wings. Looks like we're not see an echo here from either team, so that'll be a pretty big difference.
And no mercy on the side of LSFC. Maybe they're just rolling out with the Lucio? I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore.
3, 2,
It's tough.
1. Attackers
It does look like Yogurt is doing the full rollout on the Lucio here. So we've got a Ana Lucio versus a Zen Mercy. Interesting compositions for sure.
Certainly. You see Cosmic taking a angle here. If he's able to take out Dark, it'll be big, but no, he decides to go with this team. I like the safer play here.
And LSFC doing the same rotation as last time here. Sonic, there's so much information coming from that Sonic arrow. They know the exact rotation they're doing. They're just biding their time.
Righty. Taking
As
a
they-
very long rotation.
Yeah,
Which
they're
I like.
taking the full rotation to force this team off of this high ground. I'm gonna wonder if
But
it'll be
now they're
worth it
kind of-
though. A lot of time coming off the clock, and still really no fight has taken place. Thinking of the meme from Interstellar, though, this little maneuver is gonna cost us 50 years. You know?
You know, they're playing from the defender's position, but Cosmic gets picked off by Tepper, taking an angle on the high
Ooh,
ground.
Stormgig with a huge hook onto onto your boy Wings. Got a Discord, Sigrock, and a Mercy damage boost onto that. That Ryan was very sad. They're body blocking the Ana from getting off the map. This is actually a huge play from Stormgig, using that fat belly, being like, you don't get to reset. We're going to take another 10 seconds off the clock.
That's a heck of
Microdude
a
can't
stagger
believe it.
there.
30 seconds remaining.
You know, sometimes you just got to throw your thickness around, and Stormgig knows this.
So they're not going to have enough time to go for a wide rotation that they really didn't work out the first time, but they're just going to go up main.
Yeah, they're
currently
rotating without their
right now.
Ana. A little bold. Their Ana is playing way back. A dragon coming out to split this Rhine off, and instantly your boy Wings falling to the damage from the Roadhog and the Ash. Stormgig, another huge hook. This man does not miss, pulling out the whole hog, cleaning it up. And that is going to be a match point victory for the side of Golden Wind. Congratulations, Golden Wind. You guys actually rocked it. You know, it was a surprising second offense, and you guys did a great second defense.
Play of the game.
And,
I'd be proud.
I mean, credit to both teams here. That was a great match from the first to watch.
Yeah.
There were definitely times where both teams kind of showing that they were playing to each other, and I think the second, you know, if we see teams up against each other again, to go either way. So you know, it was just a really great showing from both teams, and really all of the players on each team's just trying their best to kind of almost be showmanship in a way, make big plays, save their team. Everyone, I think, in this match really kind of had their hero plays that made us all kind of drop our jaws here and there. So
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a great series from both teams. Both teams should be very proud of how they played tonight. You know, not a whole lot of memes, but still a good showing.
And
You
ladies
know,
and gentlemen, we have one more match coming up for you here in just a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and hand over the production to a different crew, and we will see you shortly.
All right.